I don't know why I'm actually really nervous
Oh
right
my gosh.
now. Okay, so her name is...
Welcome to Life Unleashed.
The podcast all about creating the best life for you and your furry best friend.
If you're a dog mom on the go, juggling life, work, and the endless joys of being a dog parent, then you're in the right place. I'm Dani.
And I'm Nick.
And together with the incredible dog mom community from Tails Up Pup, we're here to share advice, stories, and the obsession we have over the love for our dogs.
Get ready to laugh, learn, and lean on each other because life with your dog just got even more awesome.
You're 8 out of 9 months through pregnancy.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
That is literally insane. I feel like we knew so early, though, that it feels so long.
I feel like I've been pregnant for an eternity, but also I feel like it has flown by.
Yeah. So what has your journey been like?
Honestly, the best way to sum it up really is that it has been very good. It really has
Magical.
Yeah, it really has been good. In comparison to a lot of people that I know that have had tough pregnancies, I really have been blessed with a very good pregnancy. Obviously, being pregnant is difficult in its own ways because your body's changing and you have all of the symptoms still because your body is literally expanding to make room for a human. So I've obviously had those kinds of pains and that kind of change, but in all, it has really been good.
So what has been the most difficult part then? If it's mostly been all good, I feel like the thing that I'm thinking about is you mentioned back pain.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. And that really has been a third trimester. And the third trimester out of all of them has been my least favorite.
Really?
And has been the worst to me.
Not the first.
First trimester was really not that bad. It really wasn't for me. Which was nice. No sickness, occasional like nausea, but nothing that made me feel like I couldn't come to work or I had to like lay in bed on the weekends.
You were the most tired then, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely had fatigue then. Like in the afternoon, I was really tired. But other than that, it really was not that bad. And then the second trimester was a breeze. It really was. It was amazing. It was great. That's definitely when I started to like have a bump. So that was new to me. But this third trimester has been rough, like in comparison, because the baby's growing so much. So you're really running out of room here. And so I've had this horrible back pain, and it's because the baby is literally changing my spine, like
that is
my
crazy.
posture, because she's in there rocking and rolling. And she's like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to give you a little pain.
Yeah. What was it like the first time that she kicked you?
That was crazy. And I honestly felt her really early on. In comparison to a lot of people that I talk to, they say your second pregnancy or, pregnancies beyond, you feel movement a lot sooner because you're familiar with what it feels like. And a lot of people don't feel it till later because they don't know that that's what that is. But I really did feel like the flutters and stuff earlier on. And then I saw her like kicking a lot. So she's been a very active baby this entire pregnancy.
Which has been so cool to see.
Yes. Now my stomach is in like waves, like at night. Like it's crazy. It literally looks like an alien's.
Is it hard to sleep?
Out of there. It's really hard to get comfortable at night now. One, because I'm just larger. But yeah, like she's moving so much at night. And it never wakes me up. Like some people get woken up by it. I'm just like so used to it. It's just like sometimes I'm like, this is actually kind of painful now. Like you're in here rummaging around.
Is it true that babies move more when you're sleeping because you're still?
Yeah. So they say that your movement lulls them to sleep. It's like
a rocker.
Right. Like if I'm up moving around at work, I don't really feel her. But then when I come and I sit down, it's like I feel some movements. Like when I'm sitting at my desk doing some stuff for a while. She'll start to move again. And then she moves a lot after I eat because she's like, that was tasty. I really liked that. I'm going to kind of move around a lot.
That's so crazy.
And
that you're nourishing her.
Yes, she moves a lot after particular meals too. So
like cold meal, like ice cream?
Like if she likes something, like she liked it because she's like moving around a lot.
What's her favorite food?
She has been loving, and because this is one of my cravings right now, I've had a lot of cravings, nachos. Like it's like a fiesta in there after I have some nachos. Like she is like moving and grooving.
She's
later.
a nacho
she was like,
girly.
Those were delicious, Mom. Yeah. So Yeah, anything like that. She also loves my coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
She's
She
like,
likes
"Good
a little
morning."
caffeine.
Yeah, she's like, good morning. But yeah, she likes like whenever after I eat breakfast and have my coffee in the morning, she's moving a lot. So I've been very lucky that she moves a lot because some people don't get that, and
Yeah.
it worries them and it stresses them out because the doctor's always asking you like, so how's baby moving? Like, is she moving? You know, they want to know because that's a good sign that it's a healthy, strong baby. So some people have like a lot more amniotic fluid, so they can't necessarily feel as much. Some people just don't have babies that move around a lot. I like that I can feel her move because it adds to that connection. Because
Yeah.
you're kind of like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. Like, oh yeah. But when you actually feel the movement, it feels more real because you're literally feeling it.
What are you most excited about for when she's here? Like labor, birth, like that kind of part.
I'm most excited to just see her, like to just.
Do you think she's
lay
going to
eyes
look
on
like
her.
you or Paul?
I really feel like she's going to have a lot of Paul's features and like come out looking like a lot of his family. They just have that like look to them when they're like the little newborn babies.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to look like some of those newborn babies, like of his nieces and nephews that we've had. It's just like that very prominent, like they had the blue eyes and like the blonde.
That
like,
was the
baby
thing.
hair. Yeah. I was
Ensley
just, like,
sent out a game where we all had to guess like
yeah.
what the baby's going to look like and stuff. And you think that the babies can have blue eyes?
yeah, blue eyes and blonde hair. Yeah.
Wow.
That was my guess. So
We'll see.
We'll see. That is a fun game. I'm very excited to see like how everybody's guesses play out. Paul's like, she's gonna be bald and like
A
she's
lot
gonna
of babies
yeah.
are bald.
Yeah, they are. And then some babies come out with like a ton of hair.
Have you
So-
had heartburn?
No, I haven't. But a new
I know it's
symptom
like
that
a
I'm
myth.
experiencing-
Or
This was literally after I left work yesterday. Okay, I probably sound. People are like, "Is she okay? She ran a marathon." Definitely shortness of breath lately. But I've had
but that's because you're carrying
severe-
around extra weight.
Yes, I've had severe. Well, with the back pain, that is because I'm carrying all this weight right here. So it's like it's a ton of weight that's not evenly dispersed. So that's why my lower back hurts. Okay, so now it's my rib cage it's in like I can feel my rib cage really expanding
because there's
right
not
now.
enough room for her.
Yeah, so like she definitely is potentially because my rib cage is hurting, she's possibly like shifting in there. So like maybe she's like in a different position now, which is good. We want her to do
Do
that.
you know where's her head right now?
I have no idea. That actually we're going to learn a lot at the doctor next week.
Okay.
So we have a 37-week appointment next week and we're going to do our last ultrasound. Not every doctor's office does that, but my doctor wants to do one cuz
So you
she's
actually
like,
get to see her.
yeah, so I actually get to see her. I never did a 3D ultrasound. That's my biggest regret is I never did a 3D ultrasound
You
because
wish you did.
I waited too long. And then when I called to see if I could do it, they were like, we could do it, but it's probably too late.
Why? Why is it too late?
So after a certain point, you start to lose like the amount of amniotic fluid that you have. And that's what gets a good read for the 3D ultrasound. So they're like, you won't be able to really truly tell like what she looks like. It might come out like not really a clear image.
yeah,
And then you spent the money to do that. And they're trying to save you from
that's nice
potentially
at least
wasting money.
being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, so they say up to a certain week. I think it was 34 weeks is like the latest that you could do it.
Okay.
And I think I called and the earliest they could get me in was like 35 and they were like, you probably won't like what you see.
So when was the last time
So-
you saw her?
The last time I saw her was our 20-week anatomy scan. So I haven't seen her since
And she was so tiny.
I think I was 21 weeks at the time. Yeah, she was really tiny then. I think at the time that we did that, she was only like 2 pounds.
How many pounds
Um,
are they guessing she is right now?
They never really have shared. I always get like my belly measured, but I'm never getting an estimate on how much she weighs.
I've heard
they
that
always
it's
take
not
my weight.
super accurate anyways.
Yeah,
so.
they always take my weight. But I don't really truly know how they would even guess that. But like on the ultrasound with the measurements and things like that, the sonogram tech can kind of give their best estimate. So we'll see what they say next week.
Has it been mentally hard, like when you're like mentioning that they're measuring you and like weighing you, like that your body's changing, and like some girls don't like that?
Yeah, for me, it really hasn't been that bad because I am reminding myself, I'm like, I'm doing a really cool thing here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blessed that I have the ability to even do this. So it hasn't really bothered me that much
That's
that my
good.
body has changed.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes, I'm like, I'm tired of this. Like,
yeah.
you know, well, you just get, again, with the third trimester, you just start to get to your largest point and you're like, I'm just uncomfortable and I just want to be comfortable again.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily that I'm like, oh, I don't feel thin or like, I don't feel like pretty. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be comfortable.
Well, it's
again.
crazy that on Thanksgiving you did a 5K.
Yeah, I did. I walked it. I did not run it.
But still, that's very impressive.
Yeah, that was it. I was worn down by the end of that.
I'm sure. That's a lot.
I was kind of in pain. I was like, my hips are in pain right now. Like, my body's in pain. But then I just, rested and it was
You
fine.
went for the tradition. You always do it.
I wanted to do it and I did it.
That's
So,
crazy. I was so impressed that you did that.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was fun and it was good. And I
Yeah.
need to stay
And you had your support
exercising.
system, your mom, your
Exactly.
husband, your
Mhm.
friends.
Yeah, so that was like a fun. I didn't want to miss out on that.
Yeah.
Just because there's things like you can miss out on pregnancy that you can't do that you can do before. So I was like, well, I don't want to miss out on this. Like, I
Yeah.
can still do this.
I know your answer can change, but do you have any idea how many kids you want to have?
I think I've always said 2 and Paul's always said 3. And so I could see us having 3 kids. I would be fine with 2, but I could see us having 3 kids.
What about twins?
Twins, that would be wild.
Do
That-
they
I
run in
think
the
that would-
family?
They do run in the family. That would be crazy. But I think that would terrify me because I know what it's like now to carry 1.
Yeah.
I can't imagine carrying 2. Like, it just would be crazy. Like, and it's just,
Twin moms are so impressive that they're able to do that.
oh yeah, I can't imagine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here,
But then
mentally
I'm like
preparing
thinking,
for the birth of 1 child, let alone 2.
how did they
children.
feed 2? Like at the same, not at the same time. I
Yeah,
guess.
everything's just like,
You would
if
never
you have
catch a
twins,
break.
you're a very impressive person. You
Yeah.
really are. Like, you are truly a super human.
I think any mom is.
Yes,
But when you're
truly.
thinking about doing 2 at the same time, you're
Double
like,
everything that, yeah.
let alone triplets,
Yeah.
quadruplets. Can
I
you
know.
imagine having 4?
No, I literally could not fathom that.
No, you would definitely need you would be stay at home, and your husband would have to be like you need
For sure.
all hands on deck.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's insane to me. No, I couldn't imagine that. I'd like to have 1 at a time. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yes, I could see us having 3 children. But again, it's like you
Then
never
you're
know until
outnumbered.
it's true. I've always wanted 2. I come from 2, so 2 is nice. But then Paul comes from 3.
It's
so
very interesting that a lot of people, the amount of kids that they want is what they had.
Yeah.
Unless you're an only child. I feel like that's
Then
the
sometimes
most
you
common
want
thing.
more.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't like it, so I want to have more than one. But other than that, I feel like a lot of people choose what they came from because, like, it's what you know.
Yeah, that's true. Because I would love to have a boy and a girl because I
You
have
had
a
a
brother, and then here I am. So that would be nice.
Did you ever wish you had a sister?
I never wished I had a sister. I was so glad I didn't have a sister.
Really?
Because spoiled little me just loved all the attention. Like, I really did.
I can actually believe
just
that.
loved it. Being the only girl, especially like with my dad, and it's like there was never a no. There was never the word no.
No.
No, there wasn't. So I loved it. I couldn't imagine, having a sister now.
That's
It would
crazy.
be so
I
crazy.
also had a brother, and growing up, never wished I had a sister. But now that I'm older, I always wonder what it would have been like to like have someone to share clothes with, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just girl things.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of childhood friends that I still to this day I'm very close with that feel like sisters to me
Yeah.
in that way, just because we've been friends for so long. So we had that like sisterly relationship.
I, with my friends, never wanted to share clothes because I didn't trust that they were going to get them back.
There's like only one of my friends that I would trust with clothes, and we lived together all 4 years of college, and we shared our clothes, and she was the same way. She would not
Yeah.
share with anybody else.
If you live
like,
with
some
them, then I
people would
guess
be
you
like,
knew.
Oh, can I borrow that? And I'd be like, no, but like they knew that I share with like my friend Megan, and they would be like, okay, so we're only gonna share with each other, and we're like,
Yeah.
because we know that we're gonna give it back in the same condition as it was before.
Yeah, don't borrow and not give back.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Yeah, I'd hate that, but we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure, especially like seeing if we'll have all girls or if we do have a boy or whatever. But for now, I'm just trying to get through that. So that first child.
The big question is Ensley taking maternity leave?
That is a very big question.
Everyone wants to know that. I'm like, no, she's just going to be in here
Yeah,
giving birth. At the same
exactly. Like,
time.
I'm like I'm honestly, that is a compliment. I'm like, really, guys, thank you so much for believing that I could just have a child and then just show up to work the next day. No, so yes, I will not be here for 12 weeks, which is crazy. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna have to stop by. I really
You're going to
am.
miss us?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because so much can happen. Okay, I have been gone for the longest I've been gone is at a time is a full week. And the times that I have been gone for that week, so much happens in that week. And I come back and I'm like, I don't even know. It feels like a month went by
Yeah.
because so much can happen in a week here. So I'm definitely going to be checking in, and Danny's going to be like, you need to stop texting me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, nope, I
I'm
need to
like,
know what's going on.
Yeah, take care of your body, rest.
Yeah. So my husband also gets 12 weeks too. Paul gets 12 weeks, which is
so
kind
incredible.
of unheard of a lot of places, honestly. So we will be together, the three of us, for 12
That's
weeks
super
at home.
cool that you guys get that.
It'll be really nice for our first.
Yeah.
Because people have asked, they're like, oh, you're gonna take maternity leave at the same time, or are you gonna disperse
Yeah, I've
it?
heard people who
Right.
you would take your 12 and then he would take his 12.
Yeah, but I was like, I really want us to do this together. We're
Yeah,
just
you're
figuring
adjusting
out
to a whole new
routine.
life.
Yeah, and Paul works from home, so even when he goes back to work, he'll still be there, which is nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that'll be good, but definitely taking maternity leave.
So I
That
have
is
two
nice.
questions
Okay.
in related to that then.
Okay.
The first one, well, I guess since we're talking about maternity leave, we can ask the second part first.
Yeah.
What will life look like when you come back after 12 weeks, you have a baby, you're just a working mom now?
Yes. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know what it's going to look like.
Right.
You
That's
know?
what everyone who asks me these questions, in regards to you, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we can say all that we want to plan, but
Right.
we have no idea. Neither of us have ever had a kid.
No.
This is Tails Up Pup's first maternity leave.
know.
We are all navigating this together. So I think a lot can change.
Yeah, and what's cool about this, too, is the fact that because we're such a small team and because y'all are so flexible that, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to be able to figure it out. But for now, I'm like, I don't know. People
Right.
are asking me, oh, what are you going to do for this? I'm like, I really don't know.
We don't know.
I'm just going to see. Well, first of all, I just kind of want to see what kind of baby she is.
Yeah.
I don't
that
know.
will play a huge impact in all the decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she could be like my friend's baby,
Yeah.
Jack, and just be chill and sitting there. And
Right.
just really fuss for a second. Because we always joke when he starts to cry, I'm like, oh, I've never heard him cry before. So it's really a play it by ear situation, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. People keep asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Part one of that question, I kind of went backwards, is how has your pregnancy impacted your work life so far?
Not at all, really.
It really hasn't.
It really hasn't, which is, it's been such a blessing.
If you were sick, if you were exhausted,
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do your
I wouldn't be able to do
tasks.
this job particularly,
No.
too, because I am, moving around a lot. I'm
Which I feel
walking
like a lot
back
of
and
people
forth.
don't know. They think you just
Yeah.
sit at a desk. I'm like,
They
Ensley's
do.
walking back and forth
They
a
do.
lot.
Yeah, I'm on my feet
Packing orders.
a lot of the day. And then there's some days where I spend several hours at my desk, but I'm on my feet a lot.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I was never really sick to where I was like, hey guys, can't come in, or hey, I can't work, or no, I'm still packaging, lifting the packages, taking them, doing the same thing. Really, the only difference is it's if we have a giant box come in, I'm like, hey Nick, can you bring this over?
Which I do that now anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really
we're
want to
gonna make
lift
him-
this. Probably shouldn't lift this, but
We
other
keep
than
him
that,
around for things like that.
exactly.
And the trash.
Exactly. And the other day we have our collars at the bottom of our buckets, and I was like, Danny, can you come ruffle through this? I don't really bend this way anymore.
Yeah, I feel like bending has become more difficult.
Yeah. But other than that, I feel like I've managed it pretty well, and my work hasn't really been affected, which I'm very grateful for.
Yes, us
Because
too.
it keeps me active too.
Yeah.
I want to be active around here.
And apparently having an active lifestyle will help labor,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I'll let y'all know.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear.
I'll be like, this was not true.
I think I have expectations now that your pregnancy was so smooth that now your labor is going to be smooth.
Yeah.
And I really hope that it is.
I really hope so too. That would be really nice. In fact, Paul and I last night were sitting having dinner, and I was telling him about my new rib pain, and he was like, wow, I'm so sorry. That really sounds like it sucks. And then I was like, wow, I gotta birth this baby soon.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really gonna suck. And he was like, yeah, it kind of is. And I'm like, you want to trade spots? And he was like, no.
Isn't it crazy that men will never know,
Never
like
know.
what you went through, how you feel,
No.
any of that?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Paul will handle me being in labor, because I think it's difficult to see anybody in pain, but let alone like your person, like watching them go through all of that pain. I think that's going to be very difficult for Paul to just be like, basically, essentially sitting there. I mean, he's not really just going to be sitting there. He's going to be trying to be helpful, but like all he can do really is watch and try to be as like supportive as possible and do like the little things, but he's just going to have to watch me be in pain.
So you found out the gender. Did you always know you were going to want to find out the gender?
Yes, I for sure knew that I needed to know what the gender was, especially for our first.
Because you're a planner.
Because I'm a planner. I'm already struggling the fact that I don't know when she's coming. Like, you truly don't. They give you a due date, but hardly any babies come on their due date. So I know that she could come whenever. So I'm a huge planner, so I had to know the gender.
So are you the type of girl who grew up with a list of baby names and you knew, like, when I have a baby, these are what they're going to be?
Not necessarily. I definitely have thought of names like over time, but I haven't had like a name since I was a kid. The name that I picked actually was kind of like a new-ish name that I discovered when Paul and I were married. Then I started thinking about like kids' names, and it was something that I just stumbled upon, said, oh, I like this, kind of jotted it down, and then I was like, yeah, we'll play with this later.
Before we get into the big reveal, how did having a unique name yourself, like, what was life like? Did you enjoy having a unique name?
I have loved having a unique name. It's always been one of my favorite things, because people are always like, oh, I love your name. Oh, that's so cool. It's like one of my cool, I don't know, conversation starter from the get-go.
I love your name because it's unique, but it sounds like something.
It's not too unique.
It's not like, oh, what did you just say? It's like, oh, it sounds pretty. Like it flows.
Yeah, I love my name.
I love your name.
And so I knew that I wanted a unique name for my child. Whereas Paul would have been fine. I mean, Paul is Paul. I mean, sorry, Paul, putting you on blast right now, but Paul is a pretty generic name, okay? Shout out to the Pauls out there.
Yes.
And he knows that I say this, but yeah, I was like, Paul, our child has to have a unique name. They just do.
So are you sharing the name with us?
This has been a really long time coming. It really has. I feel like we have been set on the name for a really long time. I don't know why. I'm actually really nervous right now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so her name is
Dun, dun, dun.
Aveline Lee, and we're going to call her Ava.
I love it.
I love it too.
It has the same exact like flow that I said about your name. It's unique, but it sounds pretty. It flows. Like it just sounds like music to your ear.
Yeah, and Ava is not a super common name, but it is common, so like people have heard of it.
Yeah, but I've never met an Ava.
Yeah,
I don't think.
but to use that, that'll be nice for her. But as Paul says, he's like, I love the full name of Aveline Lee. He's like, I love that.
It's beautiful.
And Aveline, I had heard it somewhere a really long time ago. I think it was like a French, I don't know. It's like something, I was looking through like old French names or something like that. And I stumbled upon it. And it actually can be pronounced a couple different ways, but I like to pronounce it Aveline. So it's Avaline. And for those who are simply Sweet Pea people, you might have actually seen her name pop up.
Spoiler.
Only one person has been questioning so far. But yes, spoiler alert. But anyways, so yeah, we love the name. And yeah, I brought it up to Paul and he really liked it. And he instantly liked it, so much so that it kind of scared him into the being like, oh, is this like what we're going to go with? Like, this is almost like the first name that we're throwing out there.
Yeah. So do you know anyone with that name?
I don't know anyone with the name Aveline. And I know some of my friends, Ava is a Greek. It can be used. So like a couple of my church friends have like Ava in their middle name. Yeah. I think I know like one other Ava out there in the world, but like acquaintances really. And then Lee comes from my mom. That's my mom's name. So I always said if I have a girl, I want to name her after my mom or have my mom's name in there somewhere. Just cause so I had to do that. And so I told Paul, I was like, this could be our only girl.
You and your mom are best friends.
We really are. We're besties. We really are. So I was like, I have to.
Are you French?
No, I have no French.
Why were you looking for French names?
No, it was like, It was the most bizarre thing, I swear. But I put it in my notes in my phone, and that was like the only name I really had.
Wow.
And I had it like a couple different ways too, with like different middle names, or like switched around or had it as a middle name. But I always just came back to that. And then I just heard Ava, and I was like, oh, this would be really nice to just use. I really fell in love with the name Ava too. So then I was like, let's just use it all.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about potentially having your next kid and then having to name them? Like I feel like you found this name and it was just like instant click. Like, what if that doesn't happen again?
It might not. And I feel like that would be okay. I don't know. Names are hard. They're really
Names are so hard. People always ask us when we're having kids, and I'm like, I don't have a name, so like that stresses me out. Like I'm not a girl who grew up with a list of names.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what I would name a kid.
And when you do get pregnant, that is what people start to ask you. They're like, so do you have a name?
I've already learned that instantly I will tell people that I'm not going to share, because I've already like thrown names out there to people and they're like, oh, I don't like that, or that makes me think of this. And like, I don't want the feedback, so I'm not going to share.
Yeah, I think that's why I do get nervous to share it. But I also don't. I'm someone, I can look past that. I'm like, if you don't like it, that's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It doesn't bother me. But of course, everybody has that kind of hidden fear that their name that they love won't be accepted by other people, or they won't love it, or they'll think it's weird or funny. But I just think, just ignore the haters, honestly.
So do you think that you're going to call her more Aveline or more Ava?
I think that on a day-to-day basis, and even now, I do refer to her as Ava. However, I do think when I'm being more serious and stern, it'll be Aveline.
When she's in trouble.
Or if I'm, with like school or introducing her, I'll be like, her name's Aveline.
Oh, I do that. I always introduce myself as Danielle, but no one calls me Danielle.
Right, yeah. Yes, exactly.
Isn't that weird?
Like, it really, but I hear you do that too.
Yeah.
You're like, hi, I'm Danielle. And I'm like, Danielle. But like when I first started working here, I called, because Nick refers to you as Danielle all the time. And so he told me, he's like, oh, yeah, so Danielle. And I'm like, okay. And I was the only one calling you that. Because I was like, oh, that's her name. Like, I'm going to call her Danielle. And then everybody was calling you Dani. And I was like, I'm the weirdo that's calling you Danielle. And so now I call you Dani. And I haven't looked back.
I feel like I love names with nicknames because it gives you so much freedom.
Yeah, I
to do whatever. Like,
and I feel like a lot of people that don't have a nickname wish they had a nickname.
Yeah.
You know, like they wish they were the name that had the nickname.
Like Paul is Paul.
Paul is Paul.
There's no really nickname.
Yeah, he gets Pauly a lot.
Pauly,
if that can be a nickname. Paul doesn't have any nicknames for me. My friends will call, like, shorten my name. They'll call me Ins, or like some of my friends call me like Little E, because like it's my brother Evans and then me, and so I'm the younger one. So.
Wait, so your mom did the same letters? So are you gonna do the same letters?
I also kind of always wanted to do that too. See, this is, parents influence how you go about with your kids too.
They really
a lot.
do.
I've always wanted to have the first names the same, but I'm sitting here thinking, well, if I had a boy, I'm like, what a name? But I won't knock it yet.
I had a friend growing up, and she had like 5 siblings, and they were all J names. Even the parents were J names. Like, that's everyone was a J name, but she was the baby, and the mom really wanted to use the name Gina. Mm-hmm. So she named her Gina with a J. But now, like, when people read it, they don't know that they say Jenna,
right? Not
Gina.
Yeah.
So there's complications if you're trying to stick with a theme too, I feel like.
Yeah, there really is. And I wouldn't want that to be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I have to have a name that starts with A because I want to do that. I think it just kind of worked out that way, that my mom did it like that, and it just sounded good.
Yeah, it really does.
Because I'm the baby, so she already had Evans. And so at first my mom was going to name me something completely different, and they were about to put it on the birth certificate, and then they changed it because my mom's like, that's not her name. That doesn't sound right. Evans and Ensley sound so much better.
What if you do that?
That would be wild. Then we'd have to have another podcast, and I'd be like, guys, name change. I don't think we will.
I actually just saw a TikTok. The girl named her baby and brought it home, and then she changed the name. Like, she had to go through the whole process of changing the baby's name.
That's pretty insane. I won't be doing that because I am a planner, and I've said this is her name. It's her name.
Yeah. You seem like there's no doubt in your mind. Like,
I wouldn't turn back because I wouldn't want to be like, oh, sorry, guys. Actually, we changed her name. No, I wouldn't do that.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Plot twist.
People do that. People do that.
So you are officially less than 1 month away from your due date. Do you predict that she's going to come on, before, or after?
I kind of think she's going to come after. I just kind of feel like that's my fate with my first child.
How long after will they let you go?
They only let you go a week at the most.
Okay.
And I don't even know if my doctor would want me to go like a week. She doesn't seem like the type that does that with a lot of her patients. So
if she even just came 2 days early, she'd be a New Year's baby.
yeah,
But she could be a Christmas baby.
she could be
Which
a
is so
Christmas
crazy.
baby,
This
'cause
whole
Christmas
time
is the week before.
we've been thinking like for sure she's a January baby, but she could be a Christmas baby.
She could be a December baby.
That
We
would
don't
be
know.
crazy.
That's what's hard about
That's a totally different
this due
vibe.
date. Yeah,
A person born Christmas is very different than a
I
person
could have a baby
born
in 2023 or 2024. I mean, it's
I didn't
like,
even think about the year.
yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty wild.
Oh
So
my
we'll
gosh.
see. But yeah, we're getting to the final weeks. I'm 36 weeks actually today. And that's only 4 weeks away from the due date. And so right now she could come at any time.
She's
So
gonna be here.
we are
before
baby
know it.
watch.
We are on full baby watch.
We are on full baby watch, and I could be here one day and not the next, you know? So
How does it feel that the name is out there now?
It feels good. I'm kind of glad because then we can talk about it. It'll be nice.
Thank you for sharing it with us. The exclusive
I know.
reveal.
This is huge.
Yeah, Ensley hasn't even revealed it yet.
I haven't.
Well,
I
mean, now you did, but like,
I haven't revealed it on my personal Instagram
which is crazy.
account, and I probably will because I got this cute little sign name thing for the hospital, and I'll do
Yeah.
it like that when I take a picture of her.
You didn't
to do the
show that to
reveal.
me yet.
I haven't gotten it. That's why.
Oh, okay.
It's really cute. Got it from Etsy, little Etsy shop. But yeah, I haven't gotten it. So hopefully I get it before she comes.
Yeah, you probably will.
But yeah, so y'all are the first to know.
Oh my gosh, that is so special.
It
Thank you
is.
for letting us be that.
You're
And
welcome.
I
to my
cannot
Tup
wait
family.
to meet her. She's gonna be so cute.
I know. I can't wait for y'all to see her too. I'll be getting Paul. Be like, send pictures to everybody.
Yeah, seriously, put him on duty because we're gonna
will.
be anxiously waiting.
He'll be good. He'll be
Yes.
good. So, but yeah, thanks for letting me share my journey.
Yes.
And my send off in a way. This
Oh my gosh, we're gonna miss you
could be.
so
Yeah,
much.
I think this is probably like one of the last podcasts I'll be in until
That's sad.
2024.
Next time you come,
Be
you'll
a
have
new
a
woman.
baby.
I'll be a
You'll
new
be
woman.
a real life mom.
A real life mom with
With a
lots
baby
of,
in hand.
lots of things to share.
Oh my
So,
gosh, that's gonna be fun.
yeah.
So the
I'm
next
excited.
podcast you're on will probably be you
Yeah.
sharing about that.
That's true.
Stay
Guys.
tuned.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.